my opinion that 3 of you had a conflict of interest, being Stu Richter, Bob Hanson, and Glenda Collier. Those would be my opinions on who has a conflict of interest. With that, it's then up to the rest of the commission members to decide whether you want those members to still vote or whether you think that conflict is so substantial that they shouldn't be involved with the voting anymore.
Okay, do we talk about this? Do we leave and they talk about it?
Nope, you can stay. Yep, absolutely, you stay. So we'll have a discussion. Can I look at how you have it? Okay. So yes, so member discussion, disclosure, conflicts of interest. So we'll have a discussion on this.
Can we discuss one at a time?
Yep, that would be the best way to do it.
Okay, in the discussion mode, I'll start with myself. I am on the Eddy County Zoning Commission. I have a potential tower in Grandfield Township, which is a separate entity. So basically, I'm not voting for anything that I'm going to receive. So I feel that I'm once removed from it. Bob Hanson, you're the same exact thing. You're in Wells County, and you're on the Eddy County zoning. Glenda, you are, as far as the theater has taken money, but you don't own the theater. So, I mean, you manage it, but you don't own it. I would like to see everyone vote, but go ahead, that's all I have to say.
Well, I guess in the conflicts, I would do a conditional recusal under the North Dakota Century Code 440422, acknowledging statement for purposes of process only. But then I would like to see everybody under the same fact-based scrutiny and statutory process. And if nobody else is, then I'll take my my conditional of the recusal back. I would like to see, you know, Shauna, I didn't know what your job was. You work for Otter Tail. What are your job duties?
I manage the land rights and the survey department.
For wind facilities? No.
Well, I mean, I guess I manage for all of Otter Tail Power Company, but
Okay.
I mean, we have wind facilities. I don't manage them. They're under renewables, and I'm in asset management,
Okay.
so I don't manage.
I mean, I just wanted to have everybody know what your job duties are.
What are your job duties?
What, for the theater?
Right, like, I mean,
I don't have any anymore. The building's not there. But, I mean, that's up to everybody to decide, you know. And I didn't know what your job duties were prior. I mean, I knew you worked at Otter Tail, but
I
no
mean,
idea what.
Otter Tail has no conflict with this wind farm. We are not part of Minnesota Power Cooperative, which is the off-taker for this power, nor are we in any way associated with PRC Wind. So, like, I have no business case of anything that I do for work that would intersect with this project or this in either company that is dealing with this wind farm.
Have it on the record.
Okay, so with that, where are you going? What do you want to see done?
Well, I guess the rest of them.
Remaining board members need to vote.
Yeah, we need to vote.
I know that.
Yeah.
It's basic, that's what I'm trying to, we're just talking here so
Yeah.
far, so if there's, Levi, you got something to add?
I was just gonna say, the mailings that or the emails that we've got, it's basically, are we directly, okay, I gotta think of the words in the emails.
Direct and substantial.
Direct and substantial and pecuniary. So, I mean, what would we define as direct and substantial, money-wise, right? I mean, that's what that boils down to. And pecuniary, I mean, that's boiling down to if the passage of anything that we do here gonna put money in somebody's pocket?
Correct.
I mean, is that how we're
Correct.
evaluating the conflicts?
Yes.
Okay. So, I mean, is that, I'm just speaking out loud. Does what happens in here affect what happened? I mean, is there a project without Eddy County for Wells County? I mean, is there a project without Eddy County and Granville County? I mean, I don't know. So what I'm asking is, does that play into effect, or is it just, you know, are we good? I mean, since Bob's in Wells County and on Eddy County zoning, since Stu's on Eddy County zoning and his tower, potential would be in Granfield, is that, in your opinion, is that good? I mean, are we okay?
I still think all three of them have a conflict.
You still think all
Yes.
three, and we should vote?
And you should
You
vote
think
on each of them.
that we should vote on all three of
On
those
all three of
conflicts?
them, yes.
Okay.
Should we leave?
No, you don't need to leave, no, not at all.
Do we, okay, are you running this now then?
I can do that, so as to, Stu, oh, go ahead.
Is there any other, I
Or
mean,
should one of the board members?
no, what I'm saying is besides the three that Ashley has identified, does anybody else need to say, I mean,
Feel they have a.
feel that they have a conflict? I mean, I have not taken any dollars, I don't have anything proposed on land that I own at this time. I mean, I just wanted that out there, that I've not received any payment from PRC or from Flickertail, and I don't have anything on land that I own proposed, so.
Lucas?
Me neither, or I'm gonna say it, so.
John?
I don't have
Okay.
anything.
Okay, David's not here, so I guess basically I'll turn it over to you for,
Should one of the other board members
well, it doesn't matter.
run it?
I mean, we've done this
I don't-
before. I don't care.
Usually the
Go ahead.
Levi doesn't have.
Levi or Shauna, you run it. You ask.
Who's vice chair?
She, her.
Oh, and with the,
Actually, David Almers is.
Oh, excuse me. No, I thought it was you.
okay, that's why he isn't here.
Could be.
Wouldn't you as auditor, doesn't go the next?
We'll throw the auditor in it.
Well, I guess
I'm not
with
sure.
with both the chair and vice chair.
I don't-
It's hard
Yeah,
to-
I don't.
I would go
know.
to the auditor then.
So I'm just gonna ask this question. Since we've been told before, the only time the conflicts are gonna come into play is if we are voting on the actual permit,
On the conditional use.
on the permit that they
You
submitted.
are right.
So,
Yes.
so what I'm saying is,
I was just following you.
agenda, I get it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying now,
Okay.
Levi, yes.
I'm just
We are
throwing it
not-
out there.
We are not at a conditional use permit level, we are at a ordinance change level.
And we've been told before at ordinance change levels,
There is no conflicts.
that's,
But we still have now we have the permit pending in front of us.
okay.
Yeah, there
Okay.
was no permit.
There was no permit before, okay.
Before, now we have the permit in front of
Okay.
us.
Okay, Becky, how about if you make,
Sure, I guess, do you want me just to
And I would-
say, I'll start with you,
I
Stu?
would say individually, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll have everybody vote on if Stuart Richter should be, what would be the right words, allowed
Well,
to vote
before
on?
we do that, I'm sorry, I'd like to, just one more quick question for Ashley. So if you're making a zoning decision, but your personal conflict, if the area in which you're doing the zone, it's not going to personally enrich you, or you don't have those listed conflicts, does that still fall on the greater project? Is that your take on
I
how
don't
that
really
works?
understand the question.
Okay, so if your lease has to do with a different district.
So
but
like
you're-
Wells County.
Right,
Yeah, I still think so, because the project overall is, the financial interest is coming from PRC Wind.
okay. And that is where that falls under the law.
That's my opinion, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
One last, so I've been told, of course, everybody's in everybody's ear before the meetings. I mean, people have brought up the state of North Dakota uses a reasonable person's test. Is there any, I mean, they say if there's perceived, you know, but, I mean, that's what I was just asking, and it's been brought up, so I was gonna do my part, and, I mean, is a reasonable person's test, in the way it was explained, was if it doesn't have to be by immediate family, it doesn't have to be a dollar amount, I mean, boy, there could be a lot of things perceived.
Yeah.
So
there's
I'm
perception
just bringing it up, so I was, okay.
Again, that's just the individual's opinion, I guess, and everybody's is different.
I mean, with Ashley, is a reasonable person's test a thing? And if it is, does it apply here, or?
It does, but really the direct and substantial kind of supersedes that.
Okay,
So yes, but that is something that is looked at too, is whether a reasonable person would think that you have a conflict of interest
okay.
in it. And so that's part of the analysis.
I mean, we're not all Philadelphia lawyers.
No, I'm not saying, I'm just, if somebody brings something up,
Good question.
we're put on the board for a reason.
Yep,
To-
represent the people.
And bring stuff forward and to talk about it. So, I was doing my part.
And so under that definition of substantial, what is defined as substantial?
Let's see if I can find it in here. Something more than a merely nominal interest. Anything other than a remote interest.
Something more than a nominal interest, okay.
Well, that clarifies that.
Yeah, clear as mud.
Okay, again, that, you
Oh, well, but okay, it's a little bit, I apologize.
No, that's fine.
Chair, okay, so a nominal, I guess I'm trying to figure out what nominal means, because
Yeah.
it's so, I don't wanna be arbitrary and capricious either, like, we're gonna throw out all these weird terms that we're not defining, like, I'm struggling with how does that work?
Right. Could you break it down?
Don't understand your question.
Okay, so, yeah, a nominal amount of interest.
More than a merely nominal interest. So, I mean, basically, really, it comes down to anything financial, is what Attorney General's opinions have had. If you're gonna receive some sort of financial benefit from it,
doesn't matter if it's $1 or 100,000.
they haven't defined it specifically, but they've pretty much said anything financial.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
We probably all have to sit out. I mean, we'd probably all have to sit out because of I'm being a smart aleck here. Because there's been something promised to all of us. In a sense.
Well, yeah, if the county benefits and there's a tax
but then we all benefit.
incentive, we all benefit.
That's what I was getting at, just to be a smart aleck, so.
Okay, anything else? Becky, you have the floor.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so Stuart Richter, with your disclosures, I'll leave it up to the board to make a motion, right? To either allow him to vote or not allow him to vote? And I'll open that up.
Put you into a roll call, I mean.
Don't I have to have a motion?
I can't do that either.
If it's legal, he can vote, I guess. That's my,
I mean, yeah, any of you can vote on him.
You wanna do it individual.
Individual,
we're
right,
gonna
I
do it
thought it
yeah.
was the other members that didn't have a conflict, though.
Yes, it is, but
and
that
I
would
can't
just be
vote
by,
them. I can't vote them.
Right. I mean, they're voting on us,
do you have to,
three.
excuse me, Becky, do you have to make a motion,
I-
second, and?
I thought it was gonna
just a
be,
vote.
You have to make a motion on each of the members.
Each one.
Okay.
And so
wouldn't that-
is it the remaining members?
Yes.
Now,
That's what I thought.
the remaining members that don't have a conflict, yes.
Yeah,
So
that-
instead of,
that
it
we're
would be,
not having
let's assume we were taking it all at once, the conflicted members can't vote. So we're taking it one by one, but the conflicted members still can't vote.
Right,
So
so it would be
only-
Levi.
Well, I'm in
Lewis,
Wells
and
County, does that make a
Shauna,
difference?
that-
I'm not in
I,
any county.
I don't think it does, not in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay, so you three.
Yeah.
Need a motion, a second, and a vote. On Stuart Richter starting out. Is there a motion on the floor? Three times? Do I ask three times? Is there a motion on the floor for Stuart Richter? Is there a motion on the floor for Stuart Richter? Okay, hearing none. Oh, sorry, did I go too
So,
fast?
no. So here's the thing. If nobody makes a motion, I mean, that's, everybody's sitting on their hands, afraid to make a motion to say it yes or no. If there is no motion,
He's recused.
it dies, okay? Okay, I didn't know how this, because it's kind of forcing an action.
I'm sorry, the motion is to allow him to participate.
Larry, this is public, was it not us being prepared?
Okay,
I'm not sure what to do honestly in this situation where nobody is making a motion, because we need action on whether you can vote or not. I didn't anticipate this would be a problem, so it's not something I
didn't.
researched.
So I don't know.
So they can make a motion either way.
They can make a motion
Not-
either way, yes.
I mean,
A motion could be made to allow or disallow.
right.
Yes,
What if there's,
Correct.
what if there's no motion?
I'm not sure, I'm gonna have to research that. I was not prepared
I
for
think-
there to be no motion.
I would guess there has to be
Well, and it's
some type of decision.
It's difficult, because it's hard when, you look at the definition of the law, but then, all three of you very much want to participate and you don't feel that you have a direct financial gain in this situation. And so I'm looking at the leaders of our community and I'm struggling because to be like an axe on that. And that's hard because I want the leaders of my community to succeed and to be a part of the decision and to take the public input and to be a part of what you've volunteered for and been entrusted with.
Can I just say
It's hard.
something? I feel like you're not saying if he has a conflict or not, you're saying even though he has a conflict, I would either like to see him vote or I would not like to see him
Correct,
vote.
yes.
So you're not being the determining factor if he has a conflict. Is that clear to you, everybody? Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I don't know. It's just saying,
I
even
don't
though
know
I
what
see
to
the
say.
potential conflict,
Yes, even though there is a potential conflict, do we still want him to vote or not? That's really what you're deciding.
Or I do not want him to vote.
Yeah, I do or do not want him to vote.
So, where are we going?
I don't know.
You wanna call one more time?
What, just,
Yeah.
if we say we said no to them three, then we have an even number of four, don't we have to have an odd number to actually
There's
cast the
three
vote
people
later?
here.
Oh,
Just-
so we wouldn't,
Yeah, he's not here.
okay.
Yeah,
But we'd have 3 people out of a 7-person board, and we wouldn't have a quorum. We're trying to transact business without a quorum when we have 3 people removed from the, am I wrong?
You would still have, the remaining members would have the authority to act.
So even though we're down to short of a quorum right now?
Yes, because it becomes a quorum then of the people that are allowed to vote.
Oh, okay.
So this is for the ordinance change, or is this for,
This is basically disclosure for anything in the future and right now as it pertains to PRC wind.
so in other words, we wouldn't even be able to vote for an ordinance change, because that has nothing to do with PRC.
That would have a benefit on you,
No,
well, no, not for
not the ordinance.
your count, or your township.
Yeah, it's, I mean, if,
But the next thing we're reviewing is the permit.
Permit.
yes, I get that, but I'm just saying, well, whatever, if you guys don't want us to vote, or me to vote,
Okay, should we continue on with the others?
Yeah,
Okay.
continue on with others.
Or- Okay, okay, we'll go to Glenda Collier. I would look for a motion to allow Glenda Collier or not allow Glenda Collier to vote on the liquor supplement in regards to conflict of interest. Is there a motion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
So moved what?
So moved to put it to a vote to allow Glenda Collier to participate.
To participate. Okay, I have a motion, is there a second? Is there a second? Is there a second? Hearing none, motion dies. Robert Hanson. Is there a motion for Robert Hanson to be able to vote on the permits below with his conflict, potential conflict of interest? Is there a motion? Is there a motion? Is there a motion? No motion? So I guess we've concluded.
I will research how this affects how we move forward and send an email out to you guys letting you know what our next steps are.
Okay, so we will strike review of liquor tail, right? Or will we review with the voting member, or the
well,
allowables?
if we can't vote now, we won't be able to vote later.
Leave it.
Well, I was. Boy,
Well, we're
this,
getting way
this,
over our heads.
this, this is all,
Yeah, again,
I
we're,
think you should-
I was,
common sense would be really
Really
nice
like-
to step in here.
when we weren't getting any motions or seconds, I was gonna say, do we table and adjourn? I mean, what do we, it seems like we need to get some, David here,
Legal issue here, and
I mean, okay.
Well,
I think the conflicts, are really, I mean, the members need to vote on this.
I do agree, but that's,
Okay,
What
I
was
guess,
the
things that have happened in the past, the members who had conflicts have recused themselves, and it's just, I'm not sure what to.
You said in the past, members with conflicts have recused themselves.
Yes, they've just, on
Oh,
other
no,
boards that I've been on.
Okay,
Right,
I was
other
wondering,
planning and stuff
I thought you were meaning we dealt with this
Right.
before, and I was
No,
like.
no.
Yeah,
Another,
okay.
if a member
when
felt
you're
like they
on
had
board.
a conflict, then they disclosed it and they recused themselves or allowed, stated the conflict, and then, and it seems like I have three
Meeting went on
members.
and it didn't vote.
Right, they do not request recusal, they do not feel like they have a conflict in this case. And so it's really difficult as a member of the board when the affected members are saying, no, I do not have a conflict on this decision.
well, so basically, if I'm hearing you right, if we, the three of us say we have a conflict of interest, but we're moving forward on the meeting, and when it comes time to vote, the three of us don't vote? Or is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I mean, it's, when we've been asked to vote on recusal, it's odd because the people who are pointing out as having conflicts of interest, all three of you say, I don't feel like I have a conflict of interest in this situation, and you want us, the remaining three of us, to weigh, you don't feel like you have a conflict, but it's been brought up that you have a conflict, but you don't state that you have a it's very difficult for us, three people, to make that decision for our community members. We live in a very small community, and this is not to be taken lightly. And it is, if you don't want to recuse yourself because you feel like you have a conflict, it's hard for me to say, oh, no, you definitely have a conflict and you must not vote. Like, I don't know how to take that unless that
So there's different sections that apply to conflicts of interest. So where we're dealing with here is 440422, and so it's a person acting in a legislative or quasi-legislative, which is zoning, for a political subdivision who has a direct and substantial personal or pecuniary interest in a matter before the board, must disclose the fact to the body of which that person's a member, so that's what we've made the disclosures, and they may not participate or vote on that matter without the consent of a majority of the rest of the body. So it doesn't say anything about them choosing to recuse themselves. It basically says, once it's been identified, the other members have to vote.
Yep, I agree with that. That's the way I understood it too, is you
What?
guys have to vote.
So if nobody's taking any action on that, then I do think we need to table, because we need to figure out how this proceeds with you guys moving forward.
Okay, I guess I didn't realize that we absolutely had to, the remaining members must vote.
They may not participate in or vote on that particular matter without the consent of a majority of the rest of the body.
And some of the rest of the board has got a conflict of interest also possibly, which makes it really complicated.
So,
We have quite the conflicted,
board here.
yep.
But again, we still have to keep in mind that we represent people. We don't represent ourselves, we represent people.
That's right.
And that's where I'm gonna come from. But I don't know where that takes us.
I was gonna say the people in the orderly development and what's in our zoning. That's what we represent. I mean, the people influence what's in the zoning. And zoning is the orderly development. I mean, sometimes it gets construed, but that's my philosophy on zoning. So,
I don't even know where we go.
so I asked this before, and you said that because, so it's a 7-member board, but we can still function with only 3 people voting.
Yes, if that's
Okay.
what's left.
If that's all that's left after the conflicts are declared?
Yes.
Okay.
So with no motion on that, I think we need to table 6. We can still schedule a public hearing on our CUP change amendment to the ordinance. Well, no, we can't.
We're dead in the water here.
Why can't we, with that, why can't we?
Because them voting on it still is a conflict of interest.
So where are we gonna go from here, regardless?
I will call the Attorney General again. I will do more research. But at this point, I mean, I've never seen a group of people not vote.
Me either.
So I don't know what to do in that situation. I've never run across an Attorney General's opinion or anything to that effect.
If I may. So I was doing some reading on conflicts and whatnot the other night. And there was an instance where, God, that was in something that you sent out, I believe. And they talked about if one guy recused himself from the vote. I mean, did you guys read that email where it was talking about redoing a road and he had family down that road and whatever? And they basically forced the vote.
Yes. He was
Does
not
that-
allowed to recuse
He
himself.
wasn't allowed to recuse himself. Is there something that forces the vote of the,
You have a duty to
remaining
vote, but I mean, they're not
but there isn't
voting.
getting, but there isn't getting a motion to put it to the vote, or there's
Correct.
a motion but lack of a second to get it to the
Yes.
vote? Okay. I just, that thing was, I had to talk it through because there was the thing where that guy was compelled to
Yes.
vote.
Yeah.
Yeah. he
I
was
remember
compelled
reading
to
that.
vote. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
Okay.
I remember that.
Okay, so where we're at on the whole deal here. Member discussion, we're done. Voting on
Voting on-
conflicts, we're done. Basically, it's there, but we're probably done.
Then we're done.
So we can't review the flicker tail permit.
Not without more information on this conflict of interest right now.
There's gotta be an easy fix. I mean, this.
This can't be the first time it's happened.
No. I mean, this is
I mean,
laughable.
if
People are
we-
starting to laugh at us.
So you cannot participate in the vote without a consent of the majority, so we can just say that the 3 of you are out then, if you want to.
we gotta move forward. I mean, this is gonna drag on and on and on and on and on.
So then the three of you are out, there was no vote for allowing you to continue voting on any of these matters, so it comes down to the other three members.
I don't see any, I don't have a problem with that, but I don't agree with it. I mean, I think we should all vote, but, if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. Because, I mean, I don't know what you're gonna find, and I don't know how we're gonna get everyone back here.
I was just gonna say, so, talking out, or thinking out loud, review the flicker tail permit, we've all had it. We need to, I mean,
First, don't we need to vote on the ordinance change first?
well, I was just gonna bring that up.
Okay.
Yep. So, in my opinion, it would be appropriate to hold a public hearing to vote on the amendment to the ordinance.
We have to have a public hearing, right?
Yes. We have to.
Anytime we change something in zoning, we gotta have a public hearing. And I think for an amendment, we have to notice it for a week.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so we said, can we set a public hearing? Can we notice it for a week? Can we hold that public hearing, get the input? Move on it. Now,
For the ordinance change.
for the amendment.
Yeah.
Yes, for the amendment, the ordinance change, yep, we're on the same page. And then, in the process of doing that, then Ashley can
But then you'll have the
do
research.
her digging.
Yes.
I'm just trying to plan. So if we set a date to hear that, Ashley can do her digging. At the front end of that public hearing, we could get the rest of it done, whatever she finds out. Get that amendment, heard, voted on. And then, since the public hearing was canceled, we'll have to set a public hearing. Won't we? Well, it says we,
Oh,
it
it
says
says
we
we
may.
May.
Now, yeah, I know it says we may,
We're outside of the hearing date now.
but it was,
Oh, we'll start a new one now.
okay.
Okay.
Well, and when I called, when it was,
They reapplied.
They did reapply, didn't they?
They resubmitted it, yeah.
Resubmitted it. yeah.
Okay.
Right here.
so then we got 45 days from the date that they submitted it, we may hold a hearing, and then from the date that we hold the hearing, we have 30 days to render a decision.
Correct.
Up or down.
Yes, but can we, I mean, we've all been down this road enough. I mean, it's time to get on a different road. And can we schedule another meeting? It'll have to be another special meeting to do what you just said, Levi. Approve or deny this
Amendment.
ordinance change.
Yep.
We can do that within 1 week of advertising?
Yes. So that could be held at our next regularly scheduled meeting if we wanted to.
Okay, and then we will review the flicker tail.
14?
I mean, can we get some of this done before our regular 13th meeting?
January 13th.
Not without a special meeting.
That's what I mean. Can we have another special meeting to do this ordinance change? And that has to be a public meeting though.
That has to be public.
We have to have a public hearing on the ordinance
Yes.
change. Yes.
Yes. But I mean, can we do that in a different format other than, I mean, we can pick a date, right?
We can pick a date, but we have to notice it for a week beforehand.
1 week,
Yeah.
yeah. Can we do it within 1 week? I mean, granted, what is today, Monday, so it could be potentially, what, the end of next week? Because it would come on the paper. Amy, do you got it? Well, excuse me, sorry, Amy.
No, yeah.
Go ahead,
I mean,
Becky.
we gotta go with publication date, so the soonest publication date would be,
5th.
it's a Monday, right? Isn't publication date Monday? When would be the 6th, right?
Fifth.
Remember?
That's
That's
25.
Oh, boy.
You're ahead of yourself.
Okay, so this,
5th is the
So the
next
12th
Monday.
would be, well, and then we've always had a policy of not including that day, so it would be the 13th anyhow.
That's our special meeting.
Yeah.
That's
Or that's our
our-
regular
Excuse me,
meeting.
that's our regular meeting.
Yes,
Yep.
And that's the earliest we can do this?
yes.
Okay, I guess if that's our only avenue to correct this,
So that would just be for the ordinance
Yes,
in our regular meeting?
and our regular meeting, so whatever else we want to add to the agenda at that point.
Right.
So they piggyback.
They'd be,
Well-
yeah, our regular meeting would include a hearing in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, we could potentially have a meeting, and then we may have a public hearing for the flicker tail permit.
That'd be after.
Can't do it simultaneous?
we could do 2 hearings back to back.
Yeah, that sounds
Both
better.
on the January 13th?
Yep. It says May.
But I'm trying to think if we have to for the public hearing, for a hearing, if we have to have a 2-week notice on that. I think it's a 2-week notice on
That
that,
was 2 weeks.
so we
If
can't.
if I may, so for hearing the permit that they submitted, it has to be noticed in the paper for 15 days, I think is what
That's-
our
yeah.
ordinance says. And then mailers have to go out to everybody within 500 feet of, like, affected, the mailer list that you guys did before.
So yeah, the 13th, we couldn't
Of-
make it work. For the flicker tail permit, we can't make the 13th work.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Or if we voted on the conflicts of interest and we had a motion and a second and a vote, we could review the filter tail permit with the remaining 3 members here today.
We could have. That was kind of the hope.
So
Okay,
let's schedule our regular meeting with a public hearing for the ordinance change for the 13th, and then we will do research in the meantime and come up and see what else we can do.
okay, I guess with that, we can't make any other changes. So our scheduled next meeting is our regular meeting on the 13th at whatever time, 8 o'clock.
The public hearing for the
And it would
ordinance?
be, it would be a public hearing for the ordinance change, and then it would review the flicker tail permit and make a motion on that.
I don't think so.
And, well, don't we have to open it up somehow, so then we can call for a meeting?
Call for a public hearing?
Public
Well,
hearing?
yes,
Isn't that how
yeah.
it works?
Yeah,
Oh, we could review it as a
just
board.
moving forward, just, yeah.
So that'd be different than what we did before, because before
Yes,
we got it,
before
it
we
was just a hearing
yes,
set.
you're correct.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, wait a minute, so why would it be different?
We
can't-
should have had the board decide to have a hearing, so that's what we're doing this time.
This past time, it went, you know, the county received the permit and a hearing was set with no board action. I'm not saying that was good or bad, all I'm saying is, that's how it would be different, like what you were saying is, we'd review the permit, and then, because you were kind of saying act and then get a public hearing, correct?
I thought we had to make a motion on it
Okay.
before we could call for a public hearing. I'm just.
We
throwing
should,
it.
we should, absolutely, we should. So yes, we can add that to the agenda.
So do we need a motion for that?
No, no,
That would be at our next meeting.
At the meeting. So we're just gonna, as a board, review the permit
Okay,
and
so
then
back to.
set a public hearing.
Back to the January 13th meeting. Because of the conflict of interest issues, we are really not involved.
correct. We are down to
Basically
3, well, 4 people
Four.
if David shows up, yeah.
And that's legal.
That's legal, yes, you can have that as your quorum, even if it were 3 people, you could have that as your quorum.
Would we have to have David disclose at that time if he has any conflicts?
We would, yes, yeah, and I researched everybody and spoke to people, and I don't believe he does have a conflict, but yeah, we would have him disclose at that time too.
Okay.
Okay,